very good evening and welcome to BCN News. Auckland has gone into lockdown level 3 and the rest of New Zealand moved to level 2 until Friday's review. At a press conference last night, the Prime Minister Jacinta Ardern announced the return to level 3 lockdown after 4 cases of community transmission were confirmed in South Auckland. All 4 who tested positive for COVID-19 are from the same household and are from the Pacifica community. From midday today, those not working as essential workers must work from home. The schools, restaurants and other non-essential businesses must close. Supermarkets, pharmacies, takeaway food outlets and petrol stations can open. The Auckland airport will be open, but Air New Zealand lounge and valet parking services will be closed. Gatherings are limited to no more than 10 people in Auckland. People are encouraged to maintain 2 meters social distancing and wear face masks. And the new charges for those travelling into New Zealand came into effect yesterday. This means that every New Zealand citizen, including citizens from the realm countries like Niue, Cook Islands and Tokelau, will now have to pay to be quarantined in managed isolation if they are travelling to New Zealand for less than 3 months. The charges are $3,100 per person in one room, and for every additional adult, $950, and children sharing that room will cost $475 each, including GST. A statement from the Office of the New Zealand High Commission at Tāpeu states, New Zealanders who are currently overseas and who wish to travel to New Zealand for less than 90 days will be required to pay for some of the costs of managed isolation. This includes New Zealand citizens in Niue. There are exemptions for those who are travelling for medical treatment or New Zealand citizens who would ordinarily reside in Niue, who are travelling from another country but must pass through New Zealand in order to return to Niue for longer than 90 days. The shooting season for lupe, fruit pigeon, and peka, or bats, has now reopened. Minister for Natural Resources, Mona Ainu, announced that Cabinet has decided to reopen the shooting season from the 1st of August till the end of September.
As of last week, the 1st of August, Cabinet have decided to reopen the shooting season for the pigeons, so that will be the lupe and the peka. However, the decision for the season will open on the 1st of August and will end at the end of September. And as well as the opening of the shooting season, Cabinet this morning also endorsed the proposal or request from the police department for the sale of ammunition. There are a few things that the public must know about the sale of ammunition, and those protocols are in place by the police. If there are any questions that entails the provisions set in place by the police, they will be able to clarify those when the public go to seek more information as well as purchasing ammunition. However, this morning Cabinet also decided on the cost of the ammunition. I think there's 25 cartridges in a box. Previously the cost was $25. As of this morning, the ammunition is open for sale. However, the cost is now $50 per 25 cartridges or one box. The other provision in place that has been endorsed this morning is that only 2 boxes or 2 cartons of 25 per firearm owner rather than per firearm, and that was decided by Cabinet. Of course, some of the provisions to align with that is that the first 2 boxes allowed for sale, the firearm owner who is a registered firearm owner or who has the license to use the firearm, those cartridges will need to be returned to the police station in order to purchase 2 more. The maximum of ammunition by firearm holders will be 4 boxes, depending on whether you bring back the cartridges to receive the extra 2.
In 2014, a ban was imposed on the shooting season after surveys found a decline in the number of lupe and peka.
6 years ago, there was government recognized and received data from surveys regarding the pigeons. Unfortunately, after Cyclone Heta, there was a survey that was undertaken in the last couple of years just to gauge where the numbers were at. And so government decided on the data to close the shooting. However, I wanted to clarify that even though the shooting season closed, there was also a motion passed in the House to reopen the shooting season, and which it had. However, Cabinet decided not to sell the ammunition, and there was the sale of ammunition that restricted the activities within the activities for the shooting season, and hence why a lot of confusion went on that it was closed. But in actual fact, the shooting season was open, but the ammunition was not. And in regards to the latest decision by Cabinet to reopen the shooting season, it's not because the numbers have returned to where it was prior to 2004. Cabinet recognized the need for people and to receive other means of food sources for their families. And absolutely, there has been a lot of call for the shooting season to be officially recognized and reopened, but in line with the sale of ammunition, hence why this has happened. This is not to say, though, that our numbers are back, and the Department of Environment will be vigilant in monitoring the activities with the opening of the shooting season.
Review of the cost of ammunition, the minister says, was needed.
We didn't think that $50 is a huge cost because $25 has been the normal price since quite a few years. And as you all know, that this time there is, I wouldn't say such a struggle or challenge in regards to our budget, but I think it's time that we review the cost because it has been quite low. But that's not to say that the cost will not change. So this is we are trying to explore the options of these costs. Obviously, some of the costs like that of the firearms to register is very, very low as well. But in regards to the ammunition, this is a decision by Cabinet to increase the cost. But that's not to say that it would not be reviewed in the next season or see how we go.
For the remaining ministries' total budget voted by the Fono Ekepule of $1,529,500, an increase of $144,000 from the actual budget spent last year. For the Ministry of Infrastructure, with a total budget of $4,966,500, an increase of $2,829,277, which is to account for the inclusion of new air power and civil enquiry brought back to the recurrent budget from the state-owned enterprises. For the commercial and trading departments of New Air Tourism and Bulk Fuel, there is a total expenditure budget of $5,758,000 voted by the Fono Ekepule for this financial year. The commercial and trading departments, mainly Bulk Fuel, overspent more than $2 million than what was appropriated by the Fono Ekepule for the last financial year. Last year, the Fono appropriated $5,629,000 for bulk fuel, but they spent in actual $7,693,386. The trading and commercial departments, mainly bulk fuel, generated $5,876,395 in revenue last year and is expected to generate just over $6 million in revenue for this financial year. And finally, the 2020 Lakepa Show Day will be remembered as the day when the government pledged additional financial support to all villages. This was highlighted during the Premier Delton Tangilangi's speech, but that was after the newly elected Lakepa Member of Parliament announced that he had donated his annual allowance to the village show day. The Member of Parliament for the village of Lakepa, John Siakia, made the announcement during his speech at the annual show day on Saturday. The annual allowance of $4,000 is prescribed in the Civil List Amendment Act 2017 for each Member of Parliament to defray the costs incurred in relation to official duties and representation at official functions. BCN News reported the annual salaries and allowances of Members of Parliament last Wednesday and Thursday. Siakia also paid tribute to his predecessor, Kupa Mongotongia, for his years of service as the Eke Pule and his work for the village, thanking him for all that he had done for Lakepa. In attendance also at her first village show day was the New Zealand High Commissioner, Helen Tana, who shared in a speech her connection to Lakepa.
I have a feeling that I have a small connection already with this village, because when I was in New Zealand, I spent some time with the Wangahau Nui Trust and her family. It's from this village, Malenemaia. So I'm pleased to be here today. I also understand from the Tourism Office that Lakepa was very instrumental in establishing the Dark Sky Nation, which is a fantastic achievement for Nui, and it's something that received a lot of publicity in New Zealand, and I know that there will be many people when they can that would love to come up here and have a look at your dark skies.
The village show day was well attended, and the people of Lakepa did not disappoint the crowd, putting on another successful day. Beautifully decorated stalls displaying a variety of food and fresh produce supplied a wide array of food and drinks. The show day's favorite, nani, and local coconut and starch porridge were devoured by those lucky or early enough to get some. The half-day event ended with the usual fia performances by the young people of the village. And that's your BCN News for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Do join us same time tomorrow. Until then, have a safe evening.